this is Olympia and welcome to another video. Today is going to be a tutorial or like a tips on how to make training more fun. Because I know so many people have untrained horses. So I'm going to start with an easy one, and that's train a horse that you're currently obsessed with. I'm currently obsessed with Lou. He's my favourite horse. He has been for a while. And he's really, really cute, and I'm obsessed with riding him. And I'm more likely to want to train him and finish training him if I'm obsessed with them. So this may work if you're like, oh, I really want to finish it because I don't really like the horse, I want to move on. If that works for you, that's fine as well. But if you train a horse that you're obsessed with, then you're likely to want to finish it. So that's my number one tip. My next tip is to not be afraid to take breaks. If I'm getting bored, I'd rather go and take a break for an hour to come back later when I'm feeling a bit more refreshed than force myself to train and then hate it, because I'm less likely to train again. So if I just stop when I start to feel bored, I'm more likely to train again sooner than get really, really bored, not want to do it again for ages, wait weeks and then do it. So it's better to train in small chunks and do it little and often than it is to train one big go. I mean, it depends on how you really have what you have time for, really. But training little and often can feel a lot more fun than training in big lumps. Because I think if you train in big lumps, you sometimes feel forced to train, and that's not very fun. Training little and often works well, for me anyway. For me, it works well, and these are all just like tips if you get bored doing training. So if you find you work better with a like really long training route, then that works well for you, and keep doing it if it works well. But if you get bored on that training route or you really don't want to do it, then take a break. It works better, makes you want to do it again, makes you want to play more. My third tip is to do races that you enjoy. It doesn't matter if they don't give a lot of XP, but if you enjoy doing a race, even if it gets like 100 XP, it's still XP, and you're more likely to want to do it than if it's like a 250 race that you hate. So I really like doing the elite training at the Jorvik stables. It's one of my favourite races. And I love doing it. So I do it a lot, and I'll do it when I go past it. So if you enjoy a race, do it. So I enjoy doing the Valley of the Hidden Dinosaur race as well, which I know not a lot of people like doing because they don't have like a lot of cold tolerant horses. Most of my horses are cold tolerant, so doesn't really affect me. Just do races that you enjoy. If you're not feeling up to doing a lot of training, do races that you really enjoy, don't really do ones that you don't really like. And that's like one of my biggest things that I do, is I just do ones that I enjoy. I like doing the jumping races at the riding hall. I like doing the Valley of the Hidden Dinosaur race. I like doing the Jorvik Stables competition races. So it's just about doing what you enjoy, and for doing it because you love it instead of because you have to do it. My fourth tip is that if you don't want to train, don't train. You don't have to come on to train, or every time you come on, you don't have to train your horses. It's something that if you want to do it, you can. But if you really don't feel like doing races, you don't have to do them. I think there's a lot of pressure to have all max horses, but it really doesn't matter as long as you love your horses, because no one else is buying your horses. You're buying your own horses. So if you don't mind having untrained horses, don't worry about training them. Or if you really want maxed horses, train them. It really doesn't matter if someone else doesn't have a maxed horse. The only times it probably would matter if you do champs, then you're going to want a level 15 horse that's really happy. Or if you have a dressage club, or in a dressage club where you need a maxed horse to keep up with everybody else, then it's kind of important. But if you're not in a dressage club or anything, like I'm not in a club, I don't really need to have max horses if I don't want to. So if I really don't feel like training, I don't really have that much pressure to train. So if you don't want to train and you don't have any reason to train, it's totally okay just to be, I don't want to train today. I want to have fun doing other things. And that's fine. You don't have to train every time you come on. So I think this is my 5th tip, because I'm losing count, is to set a goal when you train. So if you go, I really want to get this level 14 horse to level 15. I really want to get this level 1 horse to level 5. Set a realistic goal that you can hit. That way then you have a finishing point, so training doesn't feel like it's going to go on forever. Because I know that's something that I feel when I don't have a finishing point, a set one. It feels like training goes on forever. And it's something that really puts me off. But it's something so easy just to correct. Just set a goal. Go, I really want to get to this point today. And when I reach it, I'm allowed to finish. You may get there and decide, that was really easy. It took me like 5 minutes. That's a bit of an overstatement. It wouldn't take you 5 minutes. It's taken me like an hour. I just kind of still want to play. I want to try and go for the next level. That's fine. And it's good to keep setting goals and keep going forward. But if you set a definitive goal, just saying, this is where I want to be, this is where I'm going to get to, it makes training a lot less of a chore because you have a goal. And if it's like a level 1 horse, don't go, I really need to get it to level 15. That's an unrealistic goal. What I'm saying is like a level 1 to level 5 horse, a level 14 to level 15. It's things that are achievable in one training session. So like maybe you don't have a lot of time, so you say, I really want to get this level 6 horse to level 7. That's still a level that you've gained, even if it's only one level. That's one level less to train later. Setting a realistic goal, I find, is helpful to me to keep motivated to keep going, because if you get really bored in training and then you go, I really want to quit, but I'm so close to my goal, then you'll keep going until you reach your goal. You still shouldn't be afraid to take breaks. If you go, okay, I just need to take a break, that's fine. But if you go, I want to get to level 6 horse to level 7 today, then you can still take breaks. And that still applies to rule number 1, like tip number 1. Take breaks when you feel like you want them. But setting goals can help to give you motivation to do training in the first place, or just help you keep sane whilst training because you have a finishing point. So tip number 6 is to listen to something like music or a Netflix show. I tend to find like watching YouTube or Netflix or any sort of like thing where they're talking and there's a lot of action going on doesn't really help me because I really want to watch it. So I listen to music that I know especially. So my favourite song at the moment is Mr. Checkpoint, Once Upon a December from Anastasia, and that's one of my favourite songs at the moment, and I listen to it while I was training, and so it's just kind of become like background noise, and it helps to just feel less lonely when training. Or you can have extra fun by singing along to it if you know the song. It's also a good time to try out new songs as well. So I know I said I stick to old songs, like the ones that I know, but if you want to, you can try listening to new songs or new shows, depends on what you feel like, because some people find listening to music better, so other people find listening to TV shows better, and it's really just personal preference. So I prefer to have music because I get distracted easily. So music helps me to not get distracted and keep training. But if you prefer Netflix shows or you have 2 monitors, so it doesn't really matter if you get distracted, then choose a Netflix show and watch it, or a YouTube video and watch it. So I have 8 tips, so this is my 7th tip, so I'm nearly done, is to train when you're questing or plant collecting. So I mentioned in my every race, 2 seconds of every race video, that I collect plants whilst I'm training. But you could do it the other way around as well. If you just go past a race and it's like 250 race, you can just like grab it because it's like 250 XP and you're running around anyway, so you may as well. So just if you're questing or you're running around not doing anything like taking pictures or doing things like that, just grab a race and just do one. It makes it feel less like you're training and more like you're just running around doing little bits and pieces. And also, even if it's just like a few races, the XP really helps towards your count at the end, especially if you're just doing 250 races. Even if you just do like a 150 race, it's still a race and it still adds to your XP total. So this one's simple yet effective. So my final tip is to train with friends or your club. I don't actually have any friends that I know that play Star Stable, so I'm a bit on my own in my own boat here, and I actually prefer to train on my own. But I know a lot of people prefer to train with friends because they can talk and run around together and race each other, and it's a lot of fun when you train with friends. So I think I did club training once in the entire time I was in my club, and it was actually pretty fun because you didn't feel so alone. I mean, you did have to wait for people, which is what got me annoyed because I'm not very much of a patient person. But as long as you're fine with waiting for people, you should be okay to train with friends. Also, it just makes you less lonely. It's like the music thing. So if you're training on your own, you can do music or TV shows. But if you're training with someone, then you can talk to each other and you can have discussions, and it makes it less boring. I know that if I'm training and I talk to my sister, even if she's not playing and she's just in my room and she'll talk to me, I find it a lot less boring than just listening to music. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Instagram, Olympia.Peacechild, where I post pictures of my Star Stable horses and teasers for videos. My schedule for YouTube is every Wednesdays and Sundays, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!